Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a DIY Dollar Tree mini farmhouse pallet sign or coastal boardwalk. We're going to use the craft sticks from the Dollar Tree, but Walmart sells bigger ones if you want to make this a little bit bigger. And we're going to use the wooden letters, 1 or 2 packs, depending on what you want it to say. We're going to use some white craft paint as well as some black, and we're going to mix it and make some gray stain in different shades. I think we've done this before, but if you're new here, we'll do it again. And we're just going to use Aleene's tacky glue. It's just popsicle sticks and wood to paper. You could use your hot glue if you want to. And then I have the burlap piece from this star decor that I'm going to use. I'm just going to recycle it. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is that there are different ways, different styles to this you can do. You can make the popsicle sticks like a big one and a skinny one, or what I wanted to do is make them roughly all the same size and just offset them. Now, like I said before about what letters you might need or how many packages of letters, really the possibilities are endless. You could hold this sign vertically or horizontally if you wanted to. You could put welcome, you could put lemonade, 5 cents, that'd be super cute. You could put your name or your address. Like I said, the possibilities really are endless, and whether you're going for farmhouse, rustic country, coastal, or even if you wanted to like whitewash this in colors, that would be 100% absolutely perfect. I think I just wanted to show you guys how it would look to make a mini pallet sign. Now, the reason I'm calling this a mini pallet sign is because if you've been around on Pinterest the last couple of years, a lot of people are taking pallets and they're breaking them down and making these really cute signs for their front porches. And to me, this just reminded me of a mini version of it. But really, you could take these pallets and you could make anything, or you can make this shiplap board into absolutely anything. So what I'm doing here is I've taken some white craft paint, a tiny drop of black, and actually a lot of water. And we're going to create like a stain. So just take one of the popsicle sticks, test it out, see if it's the shade that you like and the opacity that you like. I like it to be really translucent so I could see the wood grain come through. And I tried to pick the most interesting looking popsicle sticks. I also stained the front and back. The only reason I find this necessary is because once you wet popsicle sticks or craft sticks, sometimes they tend to bow. And because you really want the bow to be in your favor, you want to make sure that you go ahead and you stain both sides, because once they're dry, you don't want it to bow in the opposite direction that you want it. You really want it to bow with the ends sort of touching whatever you're going to glue it to, basically bowed up, not with the ends up towards the ceiling, up towards you. You want the bow towards you. So I went ahead and I stained both sides because you don't know how they're going to dry. It's weird enough, right? This is 20 popsicle sticks to use these letters to spell welcome. You could make it with 25 if you want to. And I keep calling them popsicle sticks, but they're really the bigger craft sticks. If you get the craft sticks from Walmart, like I said, they're much bigger. So you might need less. You might want more. You might want to make yours absolutely perfect. I did not want to make mine perfect. In fact, I'm only going to glue them to a piece of foam board in the middle. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you need a piece of foam board or cardboard. Anything like that will work. But we'll get to that. So then what I did was I created a very lighter version of this whitewash. I added more white to it. I added more water to it. And I wanted half of them to be much lighter in color. I actually have pallets that have been out in my yard for a couple of years now, and they're weathering naturally, and they do weather in all different shades of gray. I will tell you that. So that's really what the inspiration was for the color. But if you just want to do like a white shiplap, that'd be really cute as well. Okay, so the technique I'm using is I'm brushing it on all the sides and the ends, and then I'm taking just a tissue. Actually, you could use a paper towel or a rag, but it's a dry tissue, and I'm just rubbing the excess off. Depending on how much you rub off depends on what opacity you'll get as well. Now, if you're going to use one of these Dollar Tree cutting mats to mix your paint on, make sure it's not one with a big cut in the middle like mine was and basically got all the paint through the hole. But that's beside the point. So now what I'm doing is I'm deciding if I want my letters to be black or white. So what I did was I took a piece of the popsicle stick scrap and I painted half of it white and half of it black just to hold it up to the colors, the variations in my palette pieces to decide if I wanted my letters to be black or white. You guys do this too, because depending on what color letters, what color wood stain you want to use will determine what color letters you want to use. Okay? Now I am just using the word welcome. I will show you at the end that you can replace the O with a seashell or a heart or any kind of like little wood cutout would be cute. If you have a little starfish, that would be lovely as well. Because depending on your embellishments will move this in a direction of one aesthetic or another. To me, I really set out to do a pallet board, like I said, that was always on people's front porches, but it started out to look a lot like the boardwalk at on Long Beach. If you're from Long Island and you've ever been to the Long Beach boardwalk, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I just started to get real nostalgic, and it made me think of, oh, this would be really cute as a coastal themed item as well. So now you can see it's your turn to just get personal with it. You guys do your aesthetic how you like. Did you just want to do a light one, a dark one, a light one? Did you want to make it a more natural mix? That's what I decided to do. So I decided to just take it and make it a little bit more of a natural mix. Now I could have very easily taken craft sticks and glued them on the back to glue this together, but I had this foam board left over from a project from yesterday, and I just went ahead and I used it. I cut it down to size so that it would just be popsicle stick at the top and the bottom. But again, you could use this, cardboard, scrap paper, whatever you want to do, depending on how sturdy you want it to be as well. Now the trick I have with white glue is I like to put it down in a fairly liberal amount, but then I like to wiggle the board or the wood or the popsicle stick or the letter back and forth a little bit. What that does, that spreads the glue and sort of lets it soak into the wood a little bit. Now the downside to that is, you're likely to push glue up through between the pieces, but we'll just end up cleaning that up at the end. And I just repeated this. I didn't care that they weren't perfectly like the one that was on, like they didn't each overlap exactly a quarter of an inch or something. Like that didn't make a difference to me. I wanted it to be more of a natural flow aesthetic, just a really haphazard, homemade sort of simple project. Okay, now the one thing I will tell you, if you noticed me adjust all of them, I didn't go in a straight line. I wasn't going square, which the only problem with that is eventually my sign won't stand up because it'll be leaning to the right. So just keep in mind that if you can, just try to make it as straight as possible. Okay. Now, if you do go for the big board, small board, big board, small board look, it'll be easier for you to maintain the sizes as well. That looks really cute too because of the way it looks like it's almost like stacked. So then what I've done is I've taken some mason jars that I just have supplies in, and I've just put them on there to weigh it down. Then after a few minutes, I turned it over and weighed it down on its back. I used the flat surface of the table to keep the boards sort of from rolling more with the glue. Okay? And after a little while, I let it dry and I turned it over. And now it's time to space out your letters. Now again, depending on what you're spelling, depending on the aesthetic and the look that you're going for, will determine your spacing of your letters. So I definitely would place them, like dry place them before you go ahead and glue them down. So you can determine exactly the spacing that you want and the look that you're going after. This would be very cute if these letters were like back and forth as well, like W over there and an E over here too. But I just went for a very simple straight line. And then I'm using, again, the Aleene's Tacky Glue. This project, because we're just not using hot glue for most of it, where this project would be great for kids. It's a popsicle stick craft. I actually was going to do this for a Throwback Thursday project because it's like an adult version of popsicle stick crafts, but I told my sister we did lots of popsicle crafts on the channel before, so I wasn't going to go ahead and do that again. But I definitely wanted to do this. I actually want to use this technique for other boards as well, for other projects. So what I just did was I put my ruler down, I weighted it down, left it for about an hour. And now I've glued on that, basically that burlap strip from that leftover craft. I glued it on the back. I ended up being able to peel off some of the glued paper. But I'll show you here. This is what it looks like with a shell, or you could do it or add the ticking ribbon instead, just to show you a couple of different variations on the project. So that's it, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. I loved doing it. I'd love to see if you guys do it, what you come up with. I really would. This is how it looks like standing up like a pallet, and then you can also make it hanging on wall decor. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family, anybody you know might be interested in making either one of these projects. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye!